The U.S. State Department said that it will do its best to provide humanitarian aid to North Korean people currently experiencing a severe food shortage. But the U.S. made it clear that the Pyongyang regime, not the American or United Nations sanctions, is to blame for North Korean people's starvation and suffering.
The UN Human Rights Report on North Korea said that North Korean people are starving and the nation is experiencing a humanitarian crisis. The U.S. State Department announced that it continues to work with the international community to provide humanitarian aid to North Korea.
We believe that we must work to the best of our ability to do all we can to alleviate the suffering of the people.
However, the State Department pointed out that the primary responsibility for North Korea's humanitarian crisis lies with its own regime.
The regime continues to exploit its own citizens, to violate their human rights, to divert resources from the country's people, to build up its unlawful WMD and ballistic missiles program.
As for the report by the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights in North Korea, which stated that sanctions against North Korea should be reviewed in order to overcome this humanitarian crisis, Washington made it clear that the sanctions mentioned in the report refer to those issued by the UN and not by the United States. The spokesman stressed that the sanctions directly did not cause the sufferings of the North Korean people.
Whether it's our own sanctions regime, whether it's the UN sanctions regime, there are certainly carve-outs in these regimes to ensure that, in the first instance, we are not doing anything that would compound the suffering, the deprivation of the North Korean people.
Spokesman Ned Price repeated nonetheless that the United States is ready to meet with North Korea anywhere, anytime, without any conditions.